I would like to acknowledge the Kamryn saltwater people, speakers of the Yukon language as the traditional custodians of this land. I thank them for and acknowledge the unending bond with country, and all that is integral with country of ancestral domains. I would also like to honour and pay respect to elders, both past, present, and future, and extend that admiration to other Indigenous Australians, fellow students, and colleagues. I would also like to forewarn that this story may contain images and voices of deceased persons. When I leave the house, I often search consciously for traces of Indigenous acknowledgement within the general public. Every time, I find myself thoroughly disappointed and genuinely disheartened. Unfortunately, I also find myself unsurprised. I personally have a lack of knowledge about Indigenous culture, and I would love to develop more and expand about what I have currently. I went out to find some traces of the culture developed by the first Australians, and found absolutely nothing, even with plenty of opportunities to show the public what is right there under their noses, and the stories as to why and how. Examples of which include flora and fauna we see every day, such as eucalyptus trees and native birds. How did they impact Indigenous Australians? What did they make of the world around them, even if it was interrupted? Indigenous Australians were forcibly integrated into European norms by a process of disempowerment and oppression. Regrettably, it was as a result of chronological, systematic, deliberate, and discriminating strategies through dispossession of land, diffusion of cultural beliefs, a targeted destruction of spirituality and connection to country, brutal practices, and massive bloodshed. Not only that, but there was undermining of the local economy, as well as legalized and indentured slavery. Having this knowledge, as important as it is poignant. This knowledge I have had previously, being shallow and stereotypical, combined with my best friend's personal negative experiences as a Torres Strait Islander person, assists me to place myself in these people's shoes as much as I can without being inappropriate. I felt devastated at the thought of what we could have been had we become one cohesive society rather than dominated and tortured. I felt heartache and anguish when thinking of the agony and unnecessary suffering of these innocent peoples. I also felt incredibly ashamed when I thought of how I may have been connected to these hate crimes, and how I may have even contributed somehow. When I step outside my house from now, I will be curious as to how everything and everyone around me is connected to the first Australians, their pasts, and their ever so important viewpoints and opinions. I am an ally, and I have the utmost respect for Indigenous Australians, past, present, and future. I can only hope that one day we can all come together and create a society and a future to be proudly part of.